Welcome to DC to Daylight. This is Aaron, amateur radio call sign N6ACA. Today we're going to talk about FT4. So I'm asking you the question, why not FT4? So everybody knows about FT8. The FT8 protocol is pretty ubiquitous. The FT4 protocol is newer. And one of its key features is the transmission cycle is shorter, so 7.5 seconds versus the 15 seconds in FT8. That essentially allows you to double the amount of contacts within any period of time. This is at the expense of bandwidth, so the signal is wider at 90 hertz wide versus the 50, and but you can see that the transmit, receive, exchange time is significantly reduced. What you lose there is the decoding sensitivity, and so you have several dB difference, and that it's a trade-off that is somewhat acceptable if you're not working super long DX, and you need to have more contacts during any given period of time. The similarities in FT8 and FT4 are that you already have that mode in all of the major digital applications, so WS-JTX, JTDX, MSHV, and there's several other mobile applications. You can see that within WS-JTX, the mode you can actually just change right there, and MSHV, there's a mode right there. You can just switch to it as you would any other digital mode. One of the other similarities is that it requires an accurate clock. If you drift more than about 1 to 1.5 seconds, your decodes start getting really messed up and not working properly, and your transmissions won't be heard by others. So syncing using NTP or internet time generally is the easiest option. You can also use a GPS dongle that I haven't listed here, but that's an option. Syncing based on WWV or CHU, if you listen to it, you can actually set it pretty close by hand if needed. I'm a big fan of using software like JT Sync to actually receive the signals, and based on the deviations, estimate the time. And so that will allow you to sync based on the consensus of the time on the watering hole frequency that you're listening to at any given time. So it may not be 100% accurate, but is accurate enough with the people you're communicating with. FT4 has the same QSO progression, where you've got the CQ, your response with the grid location that you're at. The signal report is sent back, and then a Roger minus signal report, and then the Roger, and then the 73 return. There's many different iterations of that, but they're exactly the same between the FT8 and FT4 protocol. Within FT4, there are different HF watering hole frequencies, and all of these are generally programmed into the applications that you use, but you can actually enter other ones if needed. They're pretty close to the frequencies that are used for the FT8 watering holes due to the portion of the band that they're at in the digital area. There are allocations, 80 meters to 10 on HF, as well as there's a specific area on 6 and 2 on VHF. There are no 160 meter or 60 meter watering holes that I know about, although there can be contacts made there. The other option is you can pick any frequency within the digital range to make QSOs. And so why do I use FT4? One of the biggest things is to quickly activate a POTA or SOTA entity, and that could be any other on-the-air type activities. It's often a great choice for QRP operations when there are less people using the frequency. There's less human-generated noise on that frequency or any interfering signals, so you may have more of a clear channel. Even with your loss in the sensitivity in the signal, at 5 or 10 watts, you might actually get out further because there's less interfering signals. So the other issue too is that even though less people are using it just as a standard mode, if you spot yourself through like POTA.app, the SOTA page, or others, people know about your activity, and then if they're familiar with the mode changes in the application, they can easily move to the frequency and mode and work queue if they choose to do so. So within my use of FT4, I've gone through and looked at all of my QSOs and done a distribution by band. The big winners are, generally 20 through 10 for me, with the greatest number of QSOs on 20 meters, second to that on 10 meters, and third to that on 15. On the 30 meter WARC band, I only had one QSO throughout my whole time as a ham, and that was on a POTA application that I self-spotted. With 60 meters, I made one QSO, and that was to a DXpedition that had a published frequency, and tuned in. I was able to work them. It was great. There's no interference. And I have not made any 80 meter FT4 contacts due to my lack of a decent 80 meter setup at my QTH. My key takeaway from this is within my success within POTA, 20 meters and 10 meters FT4 have been the most successful for me. And to drill down even further, green line activations, end of Zulu Day, beginning of Zulu Day activations, specifically on 10 meters when the band is open. You can get a ton of DX and activate a park almost right away, because if you just need the 10 contacts, you can knock those out really fast and then switch over to voice if the signal strength is strong enough. Well, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. This has been Aaron, Amateur Radio Call N6ACA. I'm saying 73 to all you, and hopefully I can talk straight. Take care. 73.